to the March NOAC Chamber Focus Series event. My name is Cindy Holzheimer. I am the president and CEO of the Northern Ohio Area Chambers, NOAC for short. We are an association of now 136 chambers in Northern Ohio, and we provide cost savings benefit solutions for chambers to provide to their members. We also provide professional and organizational development for our chamber leaders. And I'd like to recognize the executive team that we have here at NOAC. Missy McWhorter is our board chair. John Sobolewski is our immediate past chair. Rachel Weinkoop is the treasurer. Greg Church is, Greg Church is our secretary. Karen Bosley and Tony Gallo are our members at large. So we're very excited to have them. So today I'm excited to introduce today's speakers, Heidi Szeltner and Ed Cordiano. The theme for today's event is how to grow and protect your business. For the how to grow your business portion, we're going to turn to Heidi. Heidi is the outreach manager for Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program at Cuyahoga Community College. It's kind of a tongue twister for me, Tri-C. Heidi recruits and enrolls small business owners in Northeast Ohio to the grant-funded business education program at Tri-C. She enrolls folks who are passionate about growing their business and creating jobs in our communities. To tell us more about the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program and how you can use it to grow your business, please welcome Heidi.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you very much. I'm going to pull up my screen here, and it'll take one moment. And you'll just let me know if you can see my slides. Are they up? Okay, good. All right, so welcome and thank you to Cindy for having us today to present for the NOAC Chamber Focus Series. As she mentioned, my name is Heidi Szeltner and I am the outreach manager for the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program at Tri-C, Cuyahoga Community College. As a small business owner, I know that we have all learned many things during these past couple of years since the pandemic affected our lives 3 years ago. And it is like 3 years ago, right? I hope one of your lessons learned has been about how important it is to plan. Had you planned for business closings, reopenings? Were you planning for economic downturns? And for many, significant upturns. Through all of that planning, I hope you also thought about growth. It is so important to have the success mindset, which includes planning for your business growth and taking your business to the next level. As I go through this short presentation, my goal is to provide an overview of the 10,000 Small Businesses program and how this business and management education program focuses on helping business owners grow their business. For our presentation today, I am showing that we will go over a brief program overview, who participates, the outcomes, what to expect, some success stories, and at the very end, after Ed speaks, we will have a question and answers. So the quick program overview. 10,000 Small Businesses is a public-private partnership to unlock the growth and job creation potential of small business owners across the country. This program is funded by the Goldman Sachs Foundation. And what that means is there is no cost to the business owner to apply and to participate. There are 3 components. Practical business education. Our best-in-class curriculum covers all the fundamentals for growing a business and is delivered in partnership with community colleges across the country. Access to capital. You will be introduced to a variety of lending partners of national and local community-based lending institutions. And just to answer a question that is frequently comes up, no, Goldman Sachs is not giving a loan or providing funding. But we will work with you on how to be confident and successful should the time come that you want or need to get a loan or funding. Last but not least, small business support. Each scholar, that's what we call our business owners, will provide a business advisor to work with them one-on-one during the program, as well as expert advisors and technical assistance provided to you through our partners, and also numerous opportunities to network with other program alumni. So who is eligible to participate? Our participants are the owner or co-owner, or maybe a family member that's in business succession. They have been in business at least for 2 years. They have revenues of at least 75,000 and can go up to 5, 6, 7 million. They have at least annual gross revenues of 75,000, as I mentioned, and they have a minimum of 2 employees, and that can include the business owner. This program was developed and designed for companies that are ready to take their growth to the next level. Since the goal of this program is revenue growth and job creation, we want you to have a desire to grow your business and a commitment to your local community to give back by hiring more employees. The 10,000 small businesses participants really vary in terms of the size of their businesses. About 50% of our participants represent women-owned businesses, and the education levels of the business owners who attend range from high school, GED, through graduate degrees, and are representative of the communities in which they do business. As you can see, the program has assisted a wide range of industries, which is something we constantly strive for. We have businesses offering products and business services to many in the food and restaurant industry. We generally have several in the architect, engineering, construction, and manufacturing fields. Retail, which includes both brick and mortar as well as online, and as well as healthcare industries, which include senior care, medical care, and other social assistance programs. We really have diverse industry representation in every cohort, and that is our intentional goal. 10,000 Small Businesses offers interactive and discussion-based education developed specifically for entrepreneurial-minded small business leaders. This best-in-class national curriculum is delivered through about 100 in-class hours using practical business tools for immediate application. We will be having our next program that will start in September. It is in the classroom, which will be located on the Tri-C campus in downtown Cleveland. There is free parking as well as breakfast and lunch are included. We really try to make it easy on the business owners to participate in the program so that they can focus truly on growing their business. I think the best part of this program is that you learn just as much through the peer-to-peer learning, which is learning from the other business owners' experiences, as you do from the experts that we have teaching the curriculum. This program includes measurable outcomes with each participant developing a detailed growth plan that can be implemented almost immediately. This happens to be a requirement to graduate from the program, this growth plan. And we will talk about it a little bit in more detail. So just to give you a better idea of the topics that will be covered in this program, this is an overview of the entire program. Each one of the arrows represents a session, which is one day of the program. And as you can see, you start the program talking about you and your business. We talk about growth opportunities in your business we talk about growth opportunities in your business. And from that, you develop the metrics that you want to measure to determine your success or what you need to improve upon. The clinics are listed at the bottom, and these are very interactive and they focus on a particular topic. Each session or as we call them, a module, contains classroom discussion, peer-to-peer learning exercises, and the opportunity for improving and building your skills, such as making more effective presentations. The intent of this program is having you be able to immediately apply the practical principles you learn. I have had many alumni say to me that by the first or second day of class, they have gone back and implemented things in their office, with their banker, right away from the beginning of learning. To dive a little deeper, for example, the beginning of the program focuses on your business and your growth opportunities. During these first two sessions, you will identify a new business opportunity that will serve as the basis for creating your growth plan. We talk in depth about understanding your financial statements and the metrics that you need to measure your growth. In Module 5, titled It's the People, you will learn how to create a meaningful job description, how to interview and hire, how to attract and retain and manage your top talent. We will help you strengthen your negotiation tactics, maximize your marketing strategy, and review your operations and business processes, and really dive deeper into finding the bottlenecks and helping improve your capacity. You will learn just as much from the peer-to-peer learning exercises and collaboration from the other business owners in the class as you will from the curriculum. This program is also unique because it exposes you to a variety of different networks, from a business advisor who is assigned to work with you one-on-one to subject matter experts who teach on the topics based on best-in-class curriculum, as well as years of experience in their field, to the peers that you meet and build relationships with in your class. After graduation, participants are not only connected to the local alumni network of close to 900 local business owners. Those are business owners that have graduated just from Northeast Ohio alone over the last 10 years. So close to 900 local business owners. That's our local alumni network, but also connected to an impressive national network of over 13,000 alumni across the country. So just like our site here in Northeast Ohio, there are 19 sites across the country. And so people in some of the major metropolitan areas are also able to participate in a program that is connected with the community college in their area. The main deliverable of the program is the growth plan. You will create a growth plan for your business using what you learned from the different modules throughout the program. This growth plan is a strategic and tactical implementation tool to guide your business growth. So let's look at what we can expect. Our commitment to you is to provide a full scholarship, a practical curriculum to drive business growth, a convenient class schedule with skills that can be applied immediately, access upon graduation to a local and national alumni network, and a better understanding of how to access capital. Here's what we expect from you: that you will attend all the learning sessions. You not only want to make sure that you're attending all the sessions to learn what you can, but you would be missing out what others are offering on the topic. So I encourage all business owners to take a look at the fall schedule found on our website, or we can send you a copy, and mark your calendars for the class dates. We also expect that you will take part in out-of-class activities such as working on and completing your growth plan, meeting with your business advisor, completing your online monitoring and evaluation documentation. Most importantly, we expect that you will demonstrate a commitment to revenue growth and job creation. Our 10K SB program is defined not by what we offer small business owners, but through the impact that it has. So let me provide some numbers that show the impact that this program has had on small businesses. 67% of graduated businesses showed increased revenues within 6 months after graduation. Over 86% of our alumni are doing business with each other. The business owners that you go through this program with very much become a part of your business group and your support group. And then the alumni in the Northeast Ohio area also become part of that support group, and many turn into business partners. While many participants express a concern about the time commitment, our 97% graduation rate proves that once in the program, they saw the value in committing to the full class schedule. Because the time you invest in the program is time you are investing in the future of your business, your employees, and yourself. So I'd like to highlight a few of our success stories. Bill Snow is a member of the chamber in the Willoughby Western Lake County, and being a part of the program, he has said that it exceeded his expectations, helped him to refocus, and I love this. Our revenues were up 21% over the last year. And just this morning, I saw that Bill had posted that he was awarded Franchisee of the Year in Las Vegas at the IFA convention. Hot news off the presses. Ariane Kirkpatrick went through our program a few years ago, and she feels that she built a better sense of confidence. She became more confident in her ability to think on a strategic level and to develop her vision for her business and be able to execute it. And if you know, Ariane is a key participant in the Sherwin-Williams building as well as in the Progressive Field construction project. Heather Doberling has really the best testimonial that I can share with you, because she says that it's the best investment that she's ever made in herself. If you are struggling to make that transition from working in your business to working on your business, this program is the best tool you could ever gift yourself. So this is my last slide, and before we transition over to Ed, I would like to share that Ed's wife, Marianne Cordiano, co-owner of CMIT Solutions, went through our program, the 10KSB program, back in 2021, and I know that she shared with me that she was able to connect with alumni and as a result was able to improve upon her business just by connecting with others. So I encourage business owners to take a look at our website, and you can apply right now for our program that will begin in September. And questions I will answer at the end of Ed's program. And I'm going to stop sharing now and let you transition.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks, Heidi. So that's the glimpse on, programs and different ways to help you grow your business. Now we're going to shift into ways on how to protect your business. So that we're going to turn to Ed Cordiano. He is the president of CMIT Solutions, Cleveland, downtown and east. Hopefully I got that right. The mission of CMIT is to empower businesses like yours by providing innovative technology solutions, managed IT services, and also cybersecurity. So CMIT not only protects your business, they are community members, they're a small business owner, they belong to several area chambers. I know Marianne sits on the board of one of them. And they have been the IT provider for NOAC since 2018. And if they can help me through my struggles, they can help anyone. Please help me welcome Ed Cordiano.
Thanks, Cindy. Really appreciate it. Appreciate the introduction. And yeah, it has been great to work with NOAC, and we're happy to be a part of it. As Heidi mentioned, my wife Marianne and I, we own the business together. She was part of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 small business program, and certainly from her experience that she was able to bring to the business, she has an MBA like myself, but one of the things that really helped to hone her in on were some of the things that can really help us grow our business today. You learn a whole bunch of different things in your generalized MBA classes, This was, hey, we have a business at hand right now. What do I need in order to help it grow? Some of the things like, for example, financials. Wasn't really her strength when she took, her MBA classes, but she really needed to hone in on those. And the 10,000 small business classes really helped her in that regard. So, yeah, I will share my screen here quickly. Let's see, hopefully everybody can see that. Move this over. There you go. Can everyone see my screen? All right. So, as a small business, one of the things that CMIT Solutions does is we help other small businesses secure their IT infrastructure, build their IT infrastructure. That could be something from one laptop computer to, 25 computers, a server, a whole bunch of access points, what have you. And, one of the things that we want to do is make sure that people understand that in this crazy world that we live in today, it is important for them to keep all of their information, but then more importantly, their clients' information safe and secure as possible. So that is what we do. We are part of a large national organization. So as we take a look at, there we go. So who is CMIT and how do we work? We are part of one of the nation's largest outsourced IT companies with over 240 offices across the U.S. And as we've stated, Marianne and I do own one of them here in Northeast Ohio. What do we do? Well, we make sure that those businesses that we help are running what I like to call efficiently, reliably, but most importantly, securely. And so that's what I wanted to talk about today. As Heidi talked about growing your business, and as you grow your business, now we need to make sure that you're keeping your business safe and secure. So I give this presentation a lot to chambers, to other businesses, and when we focus on small to medium-sized business, what does that mean to us? That means anywhere from your solopreneurs up to several hundred employees is what that business means to us. And we hear a lot, why should I focus on it? People aren't worried about my business, and nothing could be further from the truth. So I will just take a few minutes here to go over a few slides, making sure that I stay within our time constraints here. But, these slides will be available after the presentation. And should you have any questions, I'll leave my information at the end of the presentation as well for everybody to reach out to me. But you kind of take a look at it and you say, why should I be concerned about cybersecurity? I'm just a small business owner. It's just the five of us sitting here. Well, the damages related to cyber crimes are projected to hit 10.5 trillion annually by 2025. And that is with a T, that's not a typo. So this is something that's going to impact large businesses, medium-sized businesses, and certainly small businesses. A couple of other bullet points here. Once again, I don't want to get too much into necessarily reading all of these slides, but down the line, their email is responsible for 91% of all cyber attacks. And so educating everybody's employees is fundamental to creating a safe and secure environment for all small to medium-sized businesses. Once again, everybody knows of the big companies that have been hit out there. We've heard of the Equifaxes. We know of Home Depot, Chipotle, Anthem, Marriott. All of these we know and we've heard about. And you say to yourselves, well, it doesn't affect me. Those are the big companies. It doesn't affect me. Well, it does. And as we take a look at it, 43% of cyber attacks target small businesses. And the alarming statistic to us is really the next one. 60% of small businesses go out of business within 6 months of a cyber attack. And why is that? It's because the small businesses don't traditionally put the resources behind doing what is necessary with regards to backup and other things for two reasons. One, they just don't know how to do it. And two, they don't think that it's cost effective or affordable for them to do so. And both of those are not true. It can be done in an affordable manner. So looking at this, the potential cost of a cyber attack. And once again, this is across board, small, medium, large businesses. What we like to call the 3 R's. You have your remediation expense. Something happens to you today, you've got to go and you've got to hire a company like myself to come in and clean everything up and make sure that whatever is in the computer or on the computer or malicious program is on the computer, gets wiped and everything gets cleaned. You also have revenue loss and you have reputational damage. So revenue loss, people don't like to do business typically with companies that have been affected by a cyber attack. They feel that their information and their businesses could be at jeopardy. So other costs to consider: government fines, compliance breaches, legal fees. Once again, a lot of times the information that our clients have about their own business is less important to them as their client's information. If a client finds out that their information was breached and that breach was through a specific small business, they're going to go after that small business and they're not going to be happy about that small business that they're doing business with today. So, and once again, unfortunately, closing is a potential problem, and 60% of businesses do go out of business within 6 months of having that breach. So Ohio laws that just are on the books today and just something to be aware of. The first one is about things you can do, things you have to do if a breach is detected within your business. And you've got 45 days to basically alert everybody and make sure that things are being taken care of. And this is something that's on the books today. But more importantly is Senate Bill 220. And this is something that all small businesses should be aware of, because this helps to protect them. So what does it do? It incentivizes business to implement and maintain an effective cybersecurity program, such as what we're talking about today. And it provides an affirmative defense when they do get any kind of lawsuit come against them. It provides an affirmative defense to say, I did everything I could possibly have done with my business and in my industry to protect myself. Look, even we're not going to come in and say we're going to guarantee that you're never going to get an attack. What we're here to do is we're here to limit everybody's exposure. So these are 2 laws that are on the books today and something that every small business should be aware of in the state of Ohio, certainly. Now, real quick, we're going to go through a couple of slides, and I'm going to go through relatively quickly to stay on task, but you kind of want to say to yourself, how is it that my company or my client's information gets stolen? How does this happen? This just gives you a nice little snapshot of where does the threat vectors come from? Well, certainly hackers come in and try to get in, but you've got things like rogue employees, you've got staff mistakes, you've heard of those all the time. You don't have the right policies and procedures in place to complement some of the cybersecurity things that a company like CMIT can bring to you. And so because of that, there was a mistake and information got let out into the general public. Emails weren't encrypted properly, things like that. So this kind of gives a nice little snapshot of how the information is getting out to places where it should. You talk about some of the cybersecurity threats that are out there. These are just general vocabulary terms and helps everybody define what's out there. You've heard of malware, ransomware, where they're going to hold that information hostage until you provide them with so many thousands of dollars in either dollars or Bitcoin or what have you. Social engineering is a way that people and hackers do get into systems and guess passwords and all of that other thing. Also phishing. You'll hear a lot about phishing email campaigns becoming more and more prevalent in link with social engineering and then combined with email spoofing campaigns. So all these things are all kind of linked together when you take a look at how your information is vulnerable and how it's getting out into the wrong hands. Believe it or not, there's actually phishing kits that are being sold online. So this is actually teaching hackers how to actually get in to people's systems and what to do. All of this can be found online on the dark web. As an example of things that can be done, this is just a simple little example of a phishing campaign. Can you tell the difference between these two Facebook websites, or they're supposed to be Facebook websites? You've got one on the right and you've got one on the left. They look identical. However, if you look at the actual website at the very top, on the top bar, the one has a little lock next to it and it says facebook.com. The other one does not have we kind of had to gray it out a little bit. It did not have a lock next to it, and it did not nicely say facebook.com. It was a bunch of characters, and then at the end it says facebook.html. All that is just a snapshot of what Facebook's website looks like. The whole design here is for you to go in, put in your username and password. Of course, it's going to come back and say that it failed. You're going to get frustrated and go, what do you mean it failed? I remembered my password. This is perfect. All they're doing is gaining your credentials and doing something like this. So these are out there, and we help to educate our clients and make sure that they can do whatever they can to protect themselves against that kind of phishing campaign. Also, just so that you're aware, this is just another slide that once again I'll provide after this, so that you can other things to look at. There's a whole bunch of things in here with the phishing email, but also be aware there is smishing and vishing that's out there. Text phishing and voice phishing. You might get some phone calls where all they really want to do is gather your name, gather you saying your name. Texting phishing campaigns are out there. So just know that they're out there. We're gathering more information as time goes by, and we're trying to make sure we educate our clients against doing anything crazy we don't want to go towards as well. Everyone's aware of ransomware. Basically, what ransomware does is it locks down your computer. It encrypts all of your information that you have on your systems, and the hackers come in and say, you can't get it back until you pass. So this kind of gives a little description of how it works, why it works, and the most important thing is make sure your employees are aware of ransomware and ways that they can, protect your information and make sure that they don't click on unwarranted links or attachments to emails, etc., that could set off a ransomware attack. Certainly install all patches and update all operating systems. These are things that people don't think about, and it's fundamental, and it's the first layer of defense to making sure that your systems are as secure as they possibly can be. These are things that we help to do for our clients so that our clients don't have to even think about it. It's all done behind the scenes. Of course, making sure that your antivirus is updated is just another thing. And then there are other layers, firewalls, EDR protection. These are things that help to block a lot of these from even getting to your computer. The dark web, for those of you that aren't aware, this is kind of like the whole iceberg analogy. What we see and what we work on in a daily basis is the normal web that we work on. That is just a small fraction of what the web is. There's a huge layer underneath the surface, the dark web, that people don't even know is out there. And that's where all of this information is being exchanged, sold, credentials are bought and sold all day long on the dark web. So you see yourself, well, there's a lot of bad things going on. How can we protect those? What can we do as a small business to protect ourselves? Well, just know that there is NIST framework out there, and it's this framework that companies like CMIT work with in order to help protect our small to medium-sized business clients. On top of that, one of the things that we can do with that NIST framework is protect your passwords. This is the first line of defense for you, an individual user, on how to make sure that you can be safe and secure in this crazy cybersecurity world. So, strong passwords. Now, this is an interesting situation because this has kind of evolved over time. back in 2018, NIST used to say use memorize secrets. That way you can remember them, but it's so long that it'll take a long time for passwords to be cracked. Now, fast forward to 2023, they're saying you may want to get away from a memorized secret and just go to a random. First of all, you want to make sure you're using letters, both capitalized and lowercase. You want to make sure you're using numbers, and you want to make sure you're using symbols in that password. You want to make sure that at the very least it is 12 characters long. And there's actually a lot of studies out there that show 12 characters is kind of a bit of a magic number. It's probably going to grow to 16 in another couple of years, I would guess. But right now it's 12. And literally to crack passwords, and there are password crackers out there, it will take, many, many years for a password cracker to guess something that's 12 characters. If it's 6, they can do that in minutes. So that's just something to be aware of. And once again, something that you as an individual user can do. Multi-factor authentication. For those of you that aren't aware of it, become aware of it as quickly as possible and implement it as fast as possible. So multi-factor authentication is just simply a third way or another way to verify you are who you say you are. So everyone's familiar with a username and password. Those are two things. And then what would happen is on all of your websites that have multi-factor authentication, you would want to go into your security settings, turn it on, and then the third factor would be what they call an OTP, a one-time password. And that is basically 6 to 8 digits numbers typically that get sent to either an app like a Google Authenticator or a Microsoft Authenticator app, or it can be a text message sent to your phone. And then that text message would be sent as soon as you put in your username and password and put that in successfully. The one-time password would get sent to your phone. You would plug that in, and then you would go in securely. So, I draw this correlation. It is a little old, but it helps to draw. Why would I want to do this? Well, everyone's familiar now with Microsoft and Microsoft Office 365. And Microsoft Office 365 is great because you can access your data. It's online. It's up in the cloud. You can access it from anywhere you are in the world, so it's extremely convenient. The problem with Microsoft Office 365 is that it can be accessed from anywhere in the world and from any device you have. And so how do you lock that down? Quite simply, if someone were to steal your credentials, your username and password without a one-time password or multi-factor authentication on that system, they could literally keep going in as you, and it's not really looked at as a hack. It's literally them logging in as you with your username and your password. Going back to January of 2020 alone, 1.2 million Microsoft accounts got compromised. And that's because username and passwords became known. They used those. They did not have it locked down with multi-factor authentication. And so people were able to get into Microsoft accounts. So just shows the importance of why you would want to implement multi-factor authentication. The other thing that we stress to our clients is backup solution. It is critical for a lot of many reasons. One of them being business continuity, ransomware attacks, the office whoops and mistakes that happen day in and day out. With a good backup solution, your business can ensure some form of business continuity. So we stress a few different things, but one of them is a 3-2-1 business strategy. You want to have 3 copies of your data, so that's your original copy that you're using day in and day out, plus 2 backups. And then the backups you want to have in 2 different storage mediums, and then you want to make sure that one of them is offset. So as an example, a very secured and good business backup solution would be you have your computer, you have a what we call an on-prem backup device, maybe locally, and then you back something up to the cloud. So you've got 3 different locations. One's on-prem, and then one's off in the cloud. And it's very important from our perspective to make sure that you're getting things up and out of the general area where you live, work, where your office is. So the cloud really becomes the best place for that in case there is things like a natural disaster, there's power failures, their staff, all these different things. If everything is all localized within your house or your office, those are areas that can become the backup solution then that you did implement kind of gets coupled. So tips for securely working remotely. This is another thing that we talked about, and Heidi mentioned it's literally been 3 years since COVID hit. This has kind of gone exponential since COVID, but people working remotely, a hybrid work environment, whether they're working 100% from home or doing the 2 days in, 3 days off, what have you. Try to protect your Wi-Fi as much as possible, and realize that the Wi-Fi unit that you're using for your business computer should be different than what your kids are using or you're using for maybe your other home uses. You want to try to segregate as much as possible those different Wi-Fi signals from a security perspective. Also, some of the other things that's interesting to know, especially when you're working in a home office, are everybody out there has your Amazon Alexas, your Echoes, your Google Homes, all these different things, and they can provide some form of comfort at home, and they play your music, and they're really neat devices. However, the issue with those devices is that they are always listening. So what we recommend, especially if you're working from home, if you're in a room and you're doing business, we recommend during business hours that you unplug those devices, not turn them off, but literally unplug them during, especially if you're, you're on a voice conversation, you're transmitting maybe social security numbers, what have you. The device is always listening, so it's always something to be aware of. Then make sure that you're using surge protectors wherever you can and whenever you can. Additional ways to stay secure. If you don't have camera covers on everybody has, we're on it right now. Zoom calls or the team chats are the name of the game. Make sure that you use camera covers. A lot of laptops now come with camera covers built in, but if not, you can go out on the market and buy camera covers. Make sure that you're using those. Make sure that when you're going to websites, you look for the HTTPS, and you make sure that the S is there. That stands for secure. One of the things you can afford, or it actually has a little lock on that. Before you start typing in things like your credentials, social security numbers, passwords, make sure that your devices are encrypted. So one of the things that we've been talking about for the last few minutes was hacks and how people get in, threat vectors into your system and into your network. Well, that's just one way that information can get compromised. The other way is that if, let's just say, a laptop got either stolen or just misplaced and is not found. If you don't encrypt the information that's on that device, that information can be easily used. If you literally take the hard drive out of that system, plug it into a drive carrier with a USB cord to it, they can literally plug it into any other computer, and it's basically an external hard drive at that particular point. If you encrypt that hard drive, all the information that's on that hard drive cannot be read, and basically that hard drive, that computer becomes useless. They can wipe it, utilize the computer, but all the information that's on that computer has to get wiped. So be aware of that. Be aware of the USB plugs that people have. If you're not familiar with where the USB plug came, you have no idea what's on that USB device. So I'd be very cautious of that. Another thing that it's come up more and more is, you'll travel, whether it's to a hotel room, whether it's to an airport, what have you, and the charging stations now are just USB charging stations. One of the things to be very leery of is USB connections. They can transmit two things. They can transmit power, but then they can also transmit data. So for that particular reason, whenever you're charging your cell phone or your smart device, iPad, what have you, I would not utilize the USB connection. Always make sure that you have the block with the prongs to it, and you actually just plug the prongs into an electrical outlet, and do not use the USB plugs that are there in just some random location like a Starbucks, like a Panera, like an airport, and like a hotel. Once again, You plug that in and data can be transmitted through that USB device. Only electricity can be transmitted through a normal plug. So just something that's come out and been more and more relevant recently. The other thing is, please do not go to a Panera or a Starbucks and connect to the unsecured Wi-Fi that are at these locations. If you do have a VPN access and you can, once you're logged into there, you can VPN in, that's a different story. I would say 80% of us out there don't have that flexibility right now. So without that flexibility, the most secure thing you can do is connect your computer or your iPad or what have you to your cell phone hotspot. Make sure you keep your cell phone on cell service only and don't connect that to the Wi-Fi service, obviously. And then hotspot over to your computer. The reason for that is cell signal in and of itself is an encrypted signal. So you can stay secured if you're utilizing your cell signal coming down and then hotspotting over to your computer in your device. Last thing, 10 takeaways that you can consider to protecting your business. Install a managed firewall and a VPN connection whenever possible. Secure passwords and make sure that you're using a secured Wi-Fi connection whenever possible. Use commercial grade antivirus on your system. And the old adage of, well, I have a Mac, I don't need antivirus is not in today's world. We secure all of our Mac clients just like we secure our PC clients with antivirus and endpoint detection. So we haven't really talked too much about endpoint detection, but it is an additional layer of defense that is very valuable to have on top of antivirus. It is a very powerful tool that takes antivirus and takes it to the next level. It has the ability to find, kill, quarantine any malicious activity within a matter of minutes from your system. Create a password policy for you and your other users in your company, meaning change it every 30 days, 60 days, 90 days at most. Use multi-factor authentication on as many websites as you possibly can, web portals as possible. The first thing I do is if I create a new credentials on a new portal for myself, I create those credentials. And if it does not ask me for multi-factor authentication, when I create those username and password and those credentials, the first thing I do is I go into my profile and security settings and find multi-factor authentication and enable it. So please make sure that you're doing things like that. Watch out for spam emails and clicking on malicious websites, links. And if you get an email from someone that doesn't look and feel right, unfortunately, you have to do the old-fashioned thing, which is pick up the phone, give them a call, and see if it really was them. And make sure you're backing up your information. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me directly. I'm happy to answer any questions that I possibly can. As I said, we do this all day long for small to medium-sized businesses, which I know is, what the businesses that are in all of the chambers of commerce that are represented here today. So happy to work with you, talk with any of you today, or answer any questions that you or your clients may have. So with that, I'll stop sharing my screen and.
Perfect. Well, we're going to hang on 1 second for questions. I have just a couple of quick slides to go through as we round out the end. So I'm really excited. Thank you so much for, what an amazing presentation. So I actually know quite a few of the 10,000 small business graduates. They all have really been able to grow their business, and that's really through that experience. And I know they love that. And then, on the IT side, having an outsourced IT company is so helpful. It's definitely peace of mind. If something goes wrong, I know where to call, and it's not me just trying to figure it out. And the two-factor authentication, which I can never say, is, it's really a pain in the butt, right? So you have to do that. I have it set up on just about everything, but I'll go through that because I want to make sure that everything is protected. So that's definitely something to hang on to. Just a reminder that both Heidi and Ed do these presentations for chambers. So if you're looking for presenters for anything, by all means, they are available. So we'll answer questions in a few minutes, but I wanted to share We're really excited. We're bringing to you the NOAC Chamber Exchange Regional Meetings. And there's going to be a meeting coming to you at a ballpark near you. So we have a ballpark theme for these meetings this year. We're going to be with the Lake County Crushers on April 27th, the Toledo Mud Hens, June 29th, and the Akron Rubber Ducks on August 31st. So these meetings really provide that perfect opportunity to network amongst your chamber leaders, build those meaningful connections, collaborate, learn best practices from each other, and really just more importantly, share your voice. What's going on? What can we help you with? So we encourage you to take part in one more. We have, folks can go to all of them. It's up to you. So mark your calendars. These meetings are for chamber leaders and chamber staff. So this is not really for chamber members. This is really just for our chambers. So our next Chamber Focus series is going to be on May 18th at 10, and we're going to be talking with a representative from Humanitix. And if you're not familiar with them, they are a nonprofit ticketing platform. And what I really love about them is they donate 100% of their profits from the event booking fees towards education programs that support disadvantaged children. So it's a really neat program. They have no subscription fees or setup fees. We actually are looking at using this platform for the Bright Star this year. So we're going to see it in action. So May 18th, we're going to learn more about that program. Again, we want to thank Heidi and Ed for an amazing presentation this morning and sharing with us how to grow and protect your business in many different ways. They're going to stay on for a few minutes to answer some questions. But real quick, my IT person has requested a group shot. So if everyone will look at the camera and smile. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you at the next event.